My name is Patricia Obiero. I am the founder of Patricia Speaks, a platform that equips, empowers, and nurtures people to become better. I am passionate about purpose, leadership, and education. My life mission statement is to equip, empower, and nurture people to realize their full potential and live out their dreams. In a previous episode, I spoke about a topic that's themed discovering your true self. And I said that in these episodes, I'm going to use my calling, my profession, and my gifting to equip, to empower, and to nurture you to become a better version of yourself. And today I take this opportunity to welcome you to Patricia Speaks Show. Now, in this episode, I'm going to speak about a question that I have been asked often, several times. And this question is, did I always know that I would turn out to be a therapist? Now, the response to this question is yes. I will not lie. Yes, but vaguely. So allow me to take you back. I grew up in Eastlands and I went to school in Eastlands. And I remember when I was in primary school, I remember that something used to hurt me a lot. And this is when students used to speak one to another, and sometimes someone would confide on the other and just tell them their secrets. But all of a sudden, I could hear the secret out. Basically, what I'm trying to say is that whenever a student, someone that I was in school with, would talk to another student about something that is secretive that probably they are going through as a person or they are going through in their family, the next thing is that you would hear the entire school knows about it. So I remember that thing used to hurt me a lot. And I kept telling myself, why can they come and speak to me? Because I grew up a very silent kid. I was very reserved. I still am, but not as before. So I kept asking, why won't they come and speak to me? Because I'm not going to tell anyone about their secrets. Then I didn't even know it's called confidentiality. I just felt and thought that it was wrong for someone to come and share a secret with you, and then you'd go out there and talk about their secret. So I went through primary school, I went through high school. In high school, I really did not have such experiences as probably someone would share a secret and it would go all out. But I remember when I was in high school, I did not want to become what every single person wanted to be. So I never wanted to be a doctor, I never wanted to be a nurse, I never wanted to be a teacher. I knew I wanted to become something, but I did not know how that thing looked like. And this is the reason why I had to share my experience where I was born and where I grew up. It's because I feel like exposure is very, very important. So when I was growing up, I was not exposed. So I had not seen a therapist before. I think then we were just called counselors. I had never seen a counselor before. I had never seen a therapist before. The word psychologist was new to us. So I had not experienced or seen that. So I wasn't exposed enough to see that. So like I said previously, I did not want to become any of the normal professions. So immediately after high school, I remember when people were others went to campus, others went to college. I did not go to college or campus because I had not settled on what I wanted to become. I knew deep within me that I wanted something to do with talking to people and keeping their secrets, but I didn't know how it looked like. Neither did I know how to call it. So I took some time before I went to school, but then in that season, in that period, immediately after I cleared high school, I got an opportunity to go to Germany as an au pair Mädchen. Au pair Mädchen is a babysitter. So I remember going to Germany, flying out to Germany. And when I was in Germany, I shelved the idea because now my concentration was purely on the work that I was doing. Then I also had an opportunity to further my studies. I tried, but things did not work out as I had wanted them to work out. So after a while, I came back home. So when I came back home, that urge still kept knocking. But I didn't know, where do I begin from? Who is this person that I want to become like? How does this profession look like? So I am a Christian, and I remember I used to listen to Hope FM a lot. And there is this particular segment I remember it was aired early in the morning. I can't remember the name, but it was aired early in the morning, and it was a question and answer segment. And I remember then Mom Ada Adoyo used to come and respond to people's questions and challenges. And I remember also Mom Esther Obasike, these are all clergy, they used to come and they would respond to people's questions. And you know, things that probably hurt them in one way or the other, or things that they didn't know how to get through them. So every time I listened to them respond to questions, I remember there are many times that a question would be asked and then I would respond. And then when I respond, either Mom Ada Adoyo would respond the same way I did, or Mom Esther Obasike would respond the same way that I did. And I kept thinking, this is so interesting. I think there is something about this, and I'd like to get to know more about it further. So I love to research. So I went on a research journey to just find out which professions are around talking to people, you know, keeping people's secrets, getting to know more about them, and of course I did not find that profession. But I continued listening to the segment over and over and over and over and over and over again, until one time, I can't remember the guest that came, but that guest was from, I think it was the US. And then she said that she's a counselor. And then she defined and explained what counseling is. And I said, this is it. Remember, this is about, I think it's about 5 years after I left school. Imagine not going to campus, not going to college, because I haven't settled on what I want. So once I had the name counseling, I knew this is what I wanted to do. So I went ahead, shared it with my mom. And then my mom apparently had someone who was going through the same program. Like, she was going through the teachings and the trainings of being a counselor. So then I linked up with my mom's friend, and I just asked her more about it. You know, where can I get the training? Which schools do I go to? And I remember then counseling wasn't like now. You know, it wasn't being taught in campus. It was being taught in college. And I remember the two main colleges that were teaching counseling was Amani Counseling Center and Kenya Association of Professional Counselors. And Kenya Association of Professional Counselors was in conjunction with Manchester University, if I'm not wrong. So then I enrolled at Kenya Association of Professional Counselors, and I began from certificate. I enjoyed the journey. And then after certificate, I went and worked a little bit. After that, I came back and did my diploma. I went and worked a little bit. So I kept growing and growing and growing all the way to degree, growing and growing and growing all the way to degree. Now, there's someone else that really helped me in this journey that I think it's very important to mention. Remember when I said that I was listening to a segment of Q&A by Hope FM? There is also this particular, I think he was a clinical psychologist. I was listening to him a lot, and that is Dr. Phil. And Dr. Phil, one time I just opened the television and he was there, because I had never heard about him before, but I think I just saw him on my screen. And I was so interested to follow through how he would ask his clients questions, and then they would respond, and how it's as if he took, then I didn't know, but now I know in hindsight, he basically took a client through a 30-minute session or a 20-minute session successfully, you know, on set. And that really excited me. So Dr. Phil played a key role in me becoming a therapist. So of course, as the saying goes, we build up from one thing to the other and from another thing to the other. And the more I saw clients, I remember I was employed for 4 years. I've only stayed in 4 years for employment. And then after that, I decided to go to private practice. So there's a point in my life that I detoured, and I went to full-time business, you know, export and import, full-time business. But even when I was in full-time business, I remember people used to come at my shop, and what I'd do, I'd still pour hope into them without knowing. So a client would come, by the time they're leaving, they leave encouraged. And I had no idea until much later people told me that I think you speak so much hope to us whenever we come to visit the shop. So people were not just buying, they were buying, but I was also speaking hope unknowingly to them. So once I detoured, I came back again to my career. And I remember at some point when I kept seeing clients over and over again, I met clients that wanted something different. For them it wasn't therapy and going back to the things that happened in their life in the past, and it wasn't even, the here and now, the things that they are struggling with. They wanted to probably, like somebody who's hit plateau, and they want to get out of that. And I felt that the skills I had in therapy and the theories I was using in therapy was not working for these people. So again, I went on research because I really love to research a lot. And I found out that these people would be best placed with a coach. And then that's when I began coaching, life skills coaching. And then as I was coaching, I realized that people now were asking for my services, and they just did not want therapy. They just did not want coaching. They wanted to be taught about different things. So then again, it means I needed to research again, go back to school again as a trainer, because I am a life skills coach, I am a therapist, and I'm also a trainer, but my main focus is on soft skills training. That's communication, leadership, emotional intelligence, interpersonal, intrapersonal conflict. And I think this really resonates with me, because when I was in that circle, that bubble of trying to find out what I really want to do and how it looks like, and even give it a name, I had a lot of intrapersonal conflict, because I was thinking maybe people would think I'm not serious, maybe my parents would think I'm not serious, I don't want to go to school. But what I did not want to go into a career and then much later change it. And there is nothing wrong with that, because that is the journey of other people. There's someone who probably went into marketing and then after that they changed and took a different career. But for me, my story and my path was I just wanted to take the exact path and move with it. So this question that I've often been asked of, have you always known that you wanted to be a therapist? Yes, I have always known that I wanted to be a therapist. And I'm just curious, what about you? Can you let me know in the comment section? Can we interact? Did you always know that the profession you are in or the career you are in, did you always know that that is what you wanted to do? Did you always know that you'd settle on that? Are you happy there? Do you want to change? How is your story like? What's your experience like? Let's interact on the comment section.